you might go 800 quid a month. I'm massive on the cars. I don't care. I'm spending the money as long as you're willing to accept the implications of what that may take away from you.
Yeah.
If you're out there paying big money for a car that could be essentially paying a mortgage on a house, then that's a really difficult thing for me to understand. But you know, some people out there, they don't spend money on anything else, but they spend money on cars, and that's their thing. But you know, I've seen people out there paying 800 quid a month for a BMW X5, top of the range. Fair enough, they own a house and they have a decent job. They're maybe making 50, 60 grand a year, 70 grand a year. But that's seven odd grand a year, or even more than that, 8 grand a year, that you could have easily bought a slightly older car and paid half of it a month and then invested the other half for your future. It's not that I'm saying to these people, I'm trying to get at you for doing it. It's, here's the other options that you could have had, but you've taken them away from yourself now for the next 5 years.
And the depreciation then too of the car as well.
Oh, you know, I like cars. I'm sure you do too. But you know, I'm not out there going, I'm going to throw myself under this leg deep. And whenever I was talking about that, I was talking about the different types of ways that you can buy a car. You know, PCP, HP, personal loans and leases and things like that. And PCP, leases and HP, the interest rates on them are extortionate, and that's where you get caught, because if you do buy a car with like a personal loan or something, you know, the cost of a personal loan is probably going to be much less than PCP or a lease. So hopefully there's
that's something I didn't even know, because like us, we've sort of chatted about it recently. Like, you've obviously just got a new car. Like, I didn't even know, like, and this is me, like 26, like never would have thought that I financed my car like when I was like, what, early 20s. But I think, like, just trying to put yourself in the shoes of, like, say you're an 18-year-old lad or whatever, and like you just started making a bit of money, obviously one of the first things you're going to be thinking is like, fuck, I want a nice car, like
100%.
So it's like, like sort of trying to, like you're saying, the 50 30 20 thing, it's like, well, like, let's be realistic. Like, you're 18, like, you shouldn't really be going getting an X5 or whatever, like, you know what I mean?
But I suppose, like, you know, it depends on what they're taught and what they're taught in school and all, what they're taught by their parents and what their background is and stuff like that. But it's not even about the car, it's about what is that taken away from you. If you're 20 and you buy a car, it costs you 500 quid a month, could that actually stop you getting a mortgage if you tried to buy a house in the next 2 years, because you can't technically afford it, but you're locked into a PCP or a lease for 3 to 5 years, and then you're stuck, you know?
Would you have like a rule of thumb for like amount per, like, percentage of your wage for like spending on a car that you wouldn't spend any more than, like, say 10% of your wage?
That's a good, I've never thought about that. I probably should come up with it, but you know, I suppose I think you have to find a sweet spot, and it depends on the type of car you buy too, because you know, if you buy a brand new car, you know, the cost of that over the next 10 years is going to be huge, you know that, unless you have a reason for doing that. You know, some people say, I want the new car and I'm willing to spend the money on it because of X, Y and Z. I don't have to MOT it and all that stuff.
Save money on repairs and stuff.
But you know, there's a big difference in buying a car even that's 3 years old. It's basically brand new, but it might be 10 grand less. And then how does that allow you to keep that money to do something else? And when it comes back to all the stuff that we do, a lot of what I do is just trying to frame stuff and put it into perspective. They say, if you're thinking about doing that, can you also do this? And if you can't do that, are you actually willing to accept it? You know, you might go 800 quid a month. I'm massive on the cars. I don't care. I'm spending the money. As long as you're willing to accept the implications of what that may take away from you.